Good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome to the Mega World Hotels and Resorts, or as we like to say it, MHR Legends. I'm Datum, and I'm going to be casting here today with my good friend Dash for the NCR Plus qualifier of this particular tournament. And Dash, super excited all for this day. It's day number 2. We have a new set of teams. Yesterday, we had a couple of teams that went up against each other as well, with Atom the Irving winning the first matchup.
Oh, yeah, really great to see these teams winning against each other. But now we do have a different take right now. For today, we do have two teams that are going to be playing against each other. Eastwood Richmonde Hotel versus Richmonde Hotel Ortigas. And the other one would be KHM Knights versus SHM Legends. Ngayon. And this has been, right now, the meta has been all of sorts. Parang di naman siya nagbago, kaya excited ako to see how these players are going to go through it.
Yeah, and the other team that won yesterday as well, BHM Grizzlies. We should be showing them on the screen right now. Pero ito yung isa sa mga maglalaro today, no? SHM or SHM Legends, yeah. By the way, the teams that will be performing tonight, or rather playing tonight, are gonna be from Richmonde Hotel Ortigas, Eastwood Richmonde Hotel, and for their second matchup, it's Kingsford Hotel Manila going up against Savoy Hotel Manila. One by one, those boys are gonna be showed up on your screen as is happening right now. Dash, pero circling back to your point, no, I really like the meta right now kasi it's very, very defining. You have to have some picks, right? I mean, for example, you have to have Faramis. Otherwise, it's just going to tip the skills towards whoever is going to get that hero, and the response is always going to be the Valentita. And
Yeah.
yun yung dynamic na nakikita natin, no, which makes it particularly interesting kasi pagka nawala yung isa dun sa parang balance na yon, medyo mahirap nang timplahin yung mga teams, no?
Yeah, usually, especially with this, on this competitive scale, sa mga ganito, is ang hirap iban lahat ng mga heroes na meron tayo sa roster. And that's why right now, if ever they need to take off something, I think the Faramis is a really good takedown if ever they would have it. Kasi Valentina is easily countered by heroes who doesn't have really great ultimates. So at least take down the Faramis to make it easier for yourselves. So right now, I hope that these teams, especially that this is a best of one, they need to be really careful on who they ban on this drafting phase.
Yeah, I believe our players are ready, Dash. But before we go into the match, for those who are watching with us today, this event is part of our Circle of Happiness activities focusing on love for self. Of course, is brought to us by our lovely patron, our lovely group of companies, Mega World Hotel and Resorts. We wouldn't be here without those guys for organizing this tournament. Of course, huge shout outs to our production guy in the background, the one-man army, Josh Suave himself, doing such a beautiful job mula kahapon hanggang ngayon. And yan, nakikita nyo na sa screen nyo, folks. The game is ready and about to begin. On the blue side, we have Richmonde Hotel Ortigas, ML, versus on the red side, we got Eastwood Richmonde Hotel, TRH Legends. The band's now coming in, pinakauna, Faramis talaga yung tinatanggal dito ng Dash.
Yeah, we really said it, especially that we see a lot of this picks on MPL. People have really caught up on it. This is really strong. This is really OP, so we might as well take it down. And also the Diggy has always been a great counter to a lot of those playmaking support. So that's why Diggy is a must ban for this team.
Yeah. What this dictates is pwedeng mag ikaw mo nga playmaker tanks dito, both teams, no. You got Atlas on the board, Kufra is available as well, and well, ang dami pa ring available sa meta natin, no. Despite the fact that these are all meta bans, there's still a lot of powerful picks that come to mind despite these being taken off the table. Yung Akai pwedeng i-prioritize dito, and of course you've got yung mga sobrang reliable na solo laners, na XP laners natin. For example, pwedeng magpakito that can be flexed on multiple roles. And of course, we've got the solo laners na very, very reliable pa rin hanggang ngayon despite the changes in the meta. We've got Esmeralda, even Uranus comes to mind. The first pick, ano kaya i-prioritize dito? It's gonna be the Franco. Another good pick.
Franco has always been part of the meta ever since people want to go for pick comps. So that's why Franco is always gonna be a big enabler for these teams. Kaya yun talaga excited ako dito is lalong-lalo na nawalan Diggy, mas magiging flashy yung place na pwede gawin dito ni Franco. So their answer back is a 1-1, which ito, the next best thing na pwede kang magtanggal ng mga skills against you, and that your Reynos just for you to have a safe laner on your side.
You know what? I'm actually very, very intrigued na prioritize pa rin dito ng TRH Legends yung 1-1, no? There actually has been a very recent change to her ultimate wherein its power has been toned down
Yep.
significantly, particularly pagka team fights, no? So, makes me wonder how Factia is going to make this work, but we'll have to wait and see. Pero ito nga, no, staying true towards that, I guess, single target and pick composition and that roaming prowess. We got a Farsa coupled with that Franco. Medyo nakakatakot na dito yung roaming prowess at mid side lane roam presence dito na pwedeng gawin ng ML.
We haven't seen a lot of Farsa. No? Most of the time, we do see a lot of the more used heroes onto the teams. But now, with this Farsa just changed everything. With I was hoping about a Selena going into mid or even a Bale. But with what they have, with the Farsa on their hands, they really want to go for roam. Siguro yun nga talaga yung gusto nila gawin with the Franco helping them out. And ito, sinabi mo rin naman kanina, this Atlas is kind of expected to get picked onto their side because this Atlas is the probably one of the bigger playmakers in the game that could potentially get you some highlight reels.
Exactly. And I like the fact that they actually picked the Farsa over what you mentioned na single target sort of mid laners is meron silang insurance no for team fights just in case they need to go that route in case they don't snowball. Couple bands coming in as well, one from each side, and yeah, both of these are pretty good. Hayabusa and the Karina, parehong very very flexible and very damage heavy, and the Veil coming out, so parang yung nakikita kong pattern dito, staying true to the team fight comp. Yung TRH Legends, they've got the Uranus for a little bit of space creation, and you've got the Atlas into the Veil Wombo combo. Nakakatakot naman talaga pag na-layer nila yun. But that's the thing, Dash. They have to make it happen.
Yeah, if ever. That's the biggest part about this composition is that the level of flexibility, or at least the error that you can do with this, is just pretty hard. So that's why with what they have right now, they went in for the Pakito on the jungle just for them to have someone who has at least a bit of sustain and also a bit of tankiness onto themselves. But with this, onto the other side, we do have a Roger. So we do have two carries on their team. So this just makes it so na kailangan pabilisin ng laban dito sa side nila.
Yeah. Sobrang contrast talaga yung gustong playstyle dito. Pareho nating teams. On the one hand, you've got pick comps, very, very true to its nature. On the other, well, you've got heck of a lot of scaling, right? I mean, Uranus, you can argue, is even a scaling hero in and of itself as well. So, essentially, tatlo yung scaling heroes dito for the side of TRH Legends. So, kailangan talaga nilang magbuy ng time. Kailangan nilang iwasan as much as possible yung Franco, yung Farsa lurks. Not lurks, but rotations across the map. And they really have to be careful of that. The biggest worry for me dito, Dash, dahil sabi mo nga, dalawa yung essentially carry dito on the side of TRH Legends. Makaka-fog farm ka dito si Fort Z around the map on this Roger. Kasi alam naman natin yun yung biggest duty ng isang Franco, no? Papagaling yung pag-farm ng isang kalaban.
Yeah, especially for RHO. The biggest blunder that they could have here is that if ever hindi sila makapag-rotate at the earlier stages of the game, kasi we do have a carry. So at least we have someone who could put the team on his back, which is the carry. So yun yung kailangan natin tignan dito. With the ERH, at least eto, nakikita natin yung ginagawa nila. No? I love that Viper Bud is already just moving towards the other team, and I like that they're slowly just making sure that mid is kept in check. Kasi whenever Veil scales, that is gonna be hard. So that's why right now, Viper Bud is just gonna be helping out.
Parehong tank natin roaming towards top side. And actually, I was expecting a little bit more aggression for Viper Bud, no? Typically, we see when these level 1s come to fruition, hinuhook ng isang Franco yung jungle camps ng kalaban ng jungle. But this time, medyo easy-going pa yung jungle for Fort Z. Nobody really invading, overstepping their bounds, which for the most part isn't necessarily a bad thing. Pero first fight now happening on the top side. Factia getting those stacks, and Hook does not connect. Gonna force out the flicker for Vaughn.
Yeah. I think the flicker route very big for later on. If ever they get to level 4 faster than the other team, they can go for a fight at least here at the top side if ever they want to. Because right now, we don't usually see this, no, they have a lot of players at onto the top side that everybody is just there, just waiting out. Most of the time, we see rotations from the mid laner and also for the support. But now they're just focusing all their firepower onto the top side. Viper Bud waiting for a hook onto him, but no, he's still not committing onto anything. Though he can go for the hook, won't be able to hit, and they're still moving forward with the knockout punch coming in from this Paquito, but they are still gonna back away.
Yeah, anak, type mo ako na dumating na siya dito sa ating gold lane sa taas. Pero dahil hindi pa nakaposisyon yung mga well, team members dito ng RHO, hindi sila nakakuha ng kill doon. And the Hook have, suffice to say, di pa nakaka-hit ng mark dito. Pero Turtle has already spawned up. Fort Z all alone in the bottom side of the map. Apat na membro agad ng RHO nandito sa bottom side. Kailangan na yung Contesto to get the first turtle. Gonna get things going for themselves. And Fort Z with a beautiful deal. And now Velcro comes in. First blood comes through. 2-for-1 trade as Factia goes massive. And ngayon, kailangan na tumakbo for the hills. Raw, one person left and Haynes nag-iisang natirang buhay. 4-for-1 and they get the turtle as well. Panalo-panalo ang ERH.
Not a good fight for ERH, or rather for RHO, because ERH is a scaling composition, as we said, and winning that fight is very crucial for them, just really jump-starting or accelerating their firepower as a team. So RHO, oh no, this is a really bad start for them. Losing the turtle is just a big blunder for this early to mid-game composition.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. That was a beautiful steal from Fort Z. Nakita natin, no, mag-isa lang siya doon at the start of it until 4 members of RHO came in running to his face. Still able to secure that turtle. Beautiful job here. And yung mga micro plays talaga, no, that really makes a difference, shows the experience difference between some of these players that will shift the momentum towards your favor. And tingnan natin yung gold graph, no, Dash. 2,000 agad yung gold lead, and while that's not necessarily that big, you have to remember, guys, na sobrang magkaiba yung win condition ng teams na to. On the right side, on the red side rather, ERH, they have to stall for the late game, and it seems like they don't even have to because they already got the snowball falling towards their favor.
Yeah, they do have a lot of DPS, which is what I like about the ERH, especially with this composition. They do have AoEs, but there's also someone to clean up the team fights if ever they have. But again, they got a kill onto the bottom side. Joy Boy just went forward against first timer as a Uranus. That's not really good. Now with this, going to the top side, really want to pressure this team, but you know, they have Fatal Links available.
Have to be careful of where they tread. Ito lang, no, tatlo sila both sides here. Pag nahuli nila si Kuzma dito, though, could be a nice turner for themselves. But look at the bottom side, 2v2 as Fort Z down to about 2,500 HP. First timer, Uranus, hindi na pa siya makunat at this point of the game. So medyo maging awkward dito yung pag-start ng turtle for Fort Z. But 6,000 health and counting down. Nagamit yung artillery, flicker in for the ulti, airborne for the response. And there goes Franco going down. Kuzma goes on a killing spree. Fort Z, wala siyang skill makuha this time. As Joy Boy flickers in for the secure. 2-for-2 trade, and on this time in turtle ng RHO, and they're gonna be happy with those 2 kills, and the turtle finally going towards their side.
Great knockout from Kuzma, and also even the turtle has been taken by RHO. What's great about this though is that top side is gonna fall down. That's gonna be the trade that they wanted to go for. ERH still finding value out of that loss from that fight.
Yeah. At least na-minimize nila yung losses, no? So, yun yung gusto ko dito sa ERH Legends. They look and find for ways to trade blows, ika nga, against RHO, which is a really good thing for them because remember, they have to stall for late game. They have to make it towards that point where online na si Factia at si Fortet. And even now, you could argue that that's already true because look at Factia, already have 2 kills under the belt. Kompleto niya na yung unang item niya, working his way towards that second. Pero mukhang mahuli siya dito. And ayun na nga, Factia going down. Beautiful setup right there from Ro. And ngayon, naghahanap pa sila. Haynes down to 1 HP. Fortet goes in for the Lycan Pounds. OG, okay, going in for the Fatal Links sa nag-iisang miyembro. And that's gonna be worth it pag na-take out nila. But the knockout strike, too much to handle on the back line. There's another bite happening. But it's just the one member going down. Nahuli pa rin si anak. Itabi mo ako na. And this time, hindi siya makakatakas.
Okay, that's a great start again for them because they really just found a lot of members, especially on the top side. They wanted to get the kill onto Factia, but ERH was ready for it. They just take 2 members down for themselves, and that's going to be bigger value out of ERH, getting a 3k gold lead out of that fight.
Yeah. Slow and steady. That's the name of the game for ERH Legends. Can keep lang nila yung gold at this point. napansin mo no, Dash, ever since tumapak tayo sa 2,000 gold advantage para sa ERH Legends, hindi na nila to pinakawalan. And in fact, medyo lumaki pa nga, no, despite the turtle not going their way, despite some of these fights being a little bit awkward for them, they still come out on top. And ngayon, OG,
Mhm.
okay, no Fatal Links available. Flicker is down as well, so hindi niya i-contest right now as Zertle getting started up by Raw.
Yeah, knockout strike. A lot of members here. First timer just getting some vision for themselves. Just for them to react if ever na isa-start nila tong fight na to. They do have the fatal links, so they are ready if ever they want to go for mega kill already onto them. They have the knockout. They don't have the skills. Are they gonna steal it? No, they are not. They have the fatal links onto two. They got the killing spree already onto their side. 3-4-0. Great timing for ERH. They lost all of their members out of that turtle. That's a great win for ERH.
Great priority shifting mula sa mga members ng ERH Legends dito. No? They recognize the situation. Hold up, we don't really have to go for turtle fight kasi medyo mababa na yung health bars ng RHO dito. So what do? They turn towards the backline instead with a beautiful fatal links from OG, who by the way has been performing beautifully this entire game. Not once has he been caught off guard. Not once na nahuli siya out of position. And lagi niya na-set up yung team niya for a fight. That's one of the reasons why ERH have been able to minimize the losses and even keep this lead. Tignan mo, kahit hindi sila yung nakakuha ng turtle, kahit si anak itabi mo yung nakakuha ng secure, sila pa rin yung nag-come out on top and on the bottom side. Hook, okay, unavailable more.
Oh!
To two members and Fort set for the monster kill. Kuzma goes unstoppable, pero hindi pa sila tapos. Dash, gusto nilang mag-dive. Look at the damage.
Yes,
Canes
right?
activates the ult, pero Fort set looking to find more blood. Naubos na yung minions nila dito. Gusto nilang mag-go in. Fort set from the back line. Walang
Yep.
hook na available. So wala kasing
Stun.
Franco and the bird form going in. Flicker goes back to the back line. Farsa is out of there, pero si Joy Boy nag-iisa na lang and he's going to go down. ERH with another kill.
Great flicker, but Joy Boy, nah, that's still not it. ERH is taking over this game. They do have a 6K goldie. They want to take out this turret. They do have two down onto the bottom side of the map. 5 turrets are down. RHO on a big disadvantage against ERH. So this is just gonna snowball. They need a bit of a miracle or at least a good fight against them if ever they want to win this. They still have the Fatal Links onto OG. They're being forced out, but if an airstrike, but a hook would be able to hit. And that's exactly what they want. They want some shutdowns.
Yeah, ang ganda naman ng hook na yun ni Viper, but kailangan nilang ulitin yun ng ulitin para makabalik sa game na to, Dash. Because honestly, they really need to shut down these carries. Pero sobrang hirap na gawin nun. Kasi tinan mo, 3 items na dito si Factia.
Yep.
Makakapag 3 items na rin halos si Fort Zed na, by the way, naka-Blade of Despair na. Dash, that's gonna output a ton of damage. Pero a bit of a silver lining dito, no? Dahil parehong carry ng ERH dito ay, well, marksman, meaning they're both physical damage. Pwedeng mag-stack ng armor for now si Viper Bud and the rest of the members of RHO to sort of mitigate that damage. Kasi wala pa naman sa point, or rather, mas madali naman kasing i-outplay si Vale compared dito sa mga marksmen na to. So if they go for that route for now, at least they should be able to make it happen. But I don't think their gold is gonna be enough for that.
Lord being started by ERH. They want to slowly creep out this Lord. Pero syempre, magkaka-vision dito ang RH, so they want to react accordingly with what they're seeing. Pero si anak itabi mo is nasa top side ng mapa natin, kaya hindi siya makaka-steal dito if ever they want to. So they're just gonna give this. This is really not a good fight to
Oo.
start with for RHO kasi meron na rin naman silang
Okay.
big disadvantage with a 6K goldie. They want to fight, go for it. It got the kill. Lord has been taken. They have Viper Bud. They
Okay.
have the Fatal Links to be able to hit onto Joy Boy. They're being chased down, but they're still not gonna be doing anything because ERH is just so ahead.
Kulang talaga yung damage dito, Dash. Kahit ang ganda ng setup doon, still not enough. Just one response. Ang Fatal Links lang. Hindi pa nga, just the two members getting hit by the Fatal Links is enough. And look at the health bars here for ERH. Wala man lang umabot ng half HP because kulang talaga yung damage ni Joy Boy. Not just Joy Boy, even Vaughn. Look at the items here. Dalawa, isa pa lang yung items niya, or actually dalawa na at this point. Vaughn working towards his third, but it's just not enough. Farsa working her way towards that third item as well. Pero naka-Clock of Destiny kasi and kailangan ng
Yeah.
time mag-ramp up ng Clock of Destiny that just gives the kills and the Lord towards the side of ERH. It's not a Luminous Lord yet, thankfully for RHO. Pero look at the map control. It's slipping away from their hands.
Yeah, and the problem with when I go for the Clock of Destiny and the Lightning Truncheon build is that hindi ganun kalakas damage mo. Yes, may sustain ka, pero you're a Farsa anyway. So I
Mm-hmm.
was expecting for them to go for more damage kasi yun yung
Yeah,
nakukulangan sila as a team dito for the side of RH. So ERH, look at how confident they are. They're just moving towards any part of the maps. And this is the time that RHO, ito yung parang lag between how are they gonna be moving forward or are they gonna wait for the Lord. So RHO has the time to build up on those items. So they just need to do that and don't look for any fights.
exactly. Play safe is the name of the game for them. Pero ito na
Oh,
nga yung dive to look for one fatal
oh,
links. It gets
wow.
denied. And a beautiful fashion there. Ito na, knockout strike pabalik.
Oh,
Artillery strike from backline. Joyboy nakahanap ng isa. And he's gonna flick her away to safety. Godlike Fort Zed. It doesn't matter. No matter how
for
good your setup
Zed.
is, they're gonna be going for blood. Double kill for Fort Zed. And there goes the killing spree for Factia. Naghahanap pa siya. And ito na, masyadong malalim si Kuzma. And first timer, mag-isa na lang dito. Uranus siya, so he's gonna survive for a little bit of
Oh,
time.
ho,
But
ho,
here
ho,
comes
ho,
the wipeout.
ho.
This might be the time that RHO strike back, Dash.
Okay, that is exactly what they needed. 5K gold lead. Kanina meron tayong 9K gold lead, but because of that one fight, 5K na lang yung gold
Ah,
lead dito. They gave a bit of shutdown goals for the members of RA. So, really scared on the fact na binigyan ni rin nila etong si Von ng maraming goals so they can just make sure that they are gonna be coming back from this game, make that 4K. Dahil nga, they're taking down some turrets too together with it. At least now the pressure has been lessened on the hands of RHO.
yeah, so many shotgun, sorry, so many shutdown gold. So much shutdown gold, sorry. Nabusan ako ng words doon, Dash. Pero so much shutdown gold talaga yung napunta dito sa pockets ng RHO, no? That's really giving them so much breathing room. Not just that, tinan mo, dahil dun sa isang wipeout na yon, nakalabas na sila ng base nila finally. And they don't lose a single inhibitor turret as well. So this is certainly
Yep.
gonna make it a little bit easier for them. The key now for RHO Dash, kailangan hindi sila maging overconfident kasi to be honest, they got a little bit lucky with that fight because medyo
Oh,
nag-overextend. But right
knockout
now,
strike.
medyo nag-overextend si
Oh!
Fort Zed and he is going to get that kill. And now, wala na silang retribution for this Luminous Lord fight. So, pwedeng-pwede itong simulan ng ERH if they want to do so. Pero, tinan mo, it's a 3-2 split. Kita naman nila na merong dalawang members ng ERH sa bottom side. So, pwedeng-pwedeng pumalag dito ang RHO but they decide to back off.
Yeah, they don't have any retribution anyway, so might as well just go for the safer route. Just try to defend their turrets. They have the Feather Air Strike on the bot lane. They want to get the
Oh
kill on the
my
first
gosh.
timer. Weren't able to go for it though, but they still are moving forward first. Oh no. Pacquiao wasn't able to do anything out of that, but at least they were able to be a distraction sa bot lane.
And, well, Dash, kahit 2v4 yun, nakakuha pa rin sila ng a little bit of damage, a little bit of threat. Kung hindi na-ulti doon si Factia, maybe makakahanap pa sila ng isa o dalawang kill maybe with the crossbow of Tang. Pero good thing that they were able to minimize the losses there and then. And I like this playstyle from RHO. They're not getting overzealous. They're making the right calls. I mean, albeit it might be a little bit later in the game, it's not yet too late, I believe. Pero ngayon,
Yeah.
pag naghanap sila ng team fight, kailangan na lang maging careful ng positioning ni AG. Isang fatal links lang, isang magandang ult lang ng Atlas na yon, it's gonna be lights out mula para sa RHO.
Yeah. You want to go for the finish line? Yes, they want to. They're waiting for the minions to go in because they still don't have the amount of firepower that they can to take down the turrets really fast. But with this Lord on the bot
Uh-oh.
lane, they can go in. They do have the damage to
Oh!
cancel from the Bloody Hunt. Really perfect timing for them though. Attack mo. Oh no, hindi
Okay.
na siya ng members ng ERH. And they still want nothing more except for the fact that they want to take down this Lord. They
Ito
are
na.
still gonna go for the ball
Ito
thing. They
na.
have no fatal links. They have the stun. They got it. Joyboy falls down, but they are still falling down like flies. Two members are down, and they want to end this game. Five members strong. They are winning it. They are taking them down, and ERH are winning the game 1-0.
ERH Legends taking the first game of the day. And because this is a best of one, folks,
Yep.
it is a single elimination bracket. That means that it is good night for RHO, Richmond Hotel Ortigas. And wow, what a game that was. Dash, it really showcases the stark play styles of our different teams. And pinakita din doon kung gaano kaalam ng Richmond Hotel yung ginagawa nila, no? Kasi honestly, they weren't supposed to be winning that early game, but they did.
Yeah. Yeah, dahil na sila doon sa early game, that just snowballed into their favor. Kasi I was expecting them to just be on the back end of things. Kasi hindi nakapag-rotate, hindi nagamit masyado si Viper Bud, pati si Farsa during that game. Dun sila natalo. Dun sila
Mm.
nagkaroon ng pagkakamali when it comes to the early parts of the game. Also, the first turtle is the reason why nag-snowball yung
Yeah.
ERH. And yun na lang. Yun talaga yung big blunder ng composition nila.
Yeah, and I feel like mas consistent talaga dito yung Year H, no. If you remember, after that first turtle, it was anak itabi mo siya naman nakasecure na turtle, no. And that's I guess partly because of their early game strength of their composition, but also because um when you consider the raw mechanical skill of these players, it's not that far apart. Pero when it comes to consistency, when it comes to doing or rather doing the same exact thing in pressure moments, in impact moments, I feel like mas nagsashine yung ERH talaga, no? And that's really what made the difference between these two teams. And that's it for our first game of the day, folks. We have one more matchup coming up. It's going to be between Kingsford Hotel Manila and Savoy Hotel Manila. But before that, we'll just be having a short break. D&D here, your casters for today, Dim and Dash. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.
Good afternoon, everyone of Mega Worlds Hotel, and we're back. Dash and Datum, DND. Welcome back again, everyone, to the NCR Plus qualifiers for MHR Legends MLBB tournament. We saw a while ago yung teams na nanalo kanina. It was ERH, but now we still have KHM Knights versus SHM Legends.
Yeah. These are boys coming all the way from the Kingsford Hotel in Manila, and then SHM Legends, of course, from Savoy Hotel in Manila. Now, in the last game, Dash, medyo one-sided yung game, no? ERH Legends just took the cake in every aspect of the game. They had, I mean, well, not necessarily the better composition, they had the
Yeah.
better execution all throughout. Pero ngayon, Dash, I have a feeling that we are gonna have a closer game kasi contrary to what most teams opt for, on the pick side, or rather on the picking time of these two teams, red side yung pinili ng team natin, which is particularly interesting kasi hindi madalas ginagawa yan.
Mm-hmm. And what I like about this, though, kasi especially when you go to the red side, what you want to go for is counter agad kung sino yung first pick Manila. Or at least meron silang 2 priority picks na gusto nila makuha agad. Or lalong-lalo na if they have comfort picks. If they have a lot of specialists on their teams, taking those 2 heroes already is just a bigger advantage for them. At least mas confident sila na makukuha nila yung mga hero na gusto nila. And that's what I like about this. Kasi dahil nasa red team sila, I like na gusto nila gawin dito is that they want to be reactive or maybe proactive in a way na gusto lang talaga nila ng comfort picks.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? In these types of compositions na you barely know your opposition, we don't even know if they played against each other or they know them personally. Hindi nila alam kung, or there's a big chance
pala, no?
Yeah, there's a big chance na hindi nila alam kung ano yung comfort picks talaga nung kalaban nila, and literally in that sense anything could happen. We could have a surprise couple of picks coming out on either side that you cannot anticipate unless you know who you're playing against, and that's one of the things that sort of makes these types of matchups a little bit more spicy. Pero yun yung malaman natin ngayon kasi handa na both of our teams, handa na lahat ng players, and handa na rin yung game. Dito na tayo with the first bans, and surprise, it's gonna be a Valentina first ban, so they are anticipating that it is going to be a Valentina priority on the red side on SHM.
They have MPL bans talaga dito, no? Kasi yun yung pinaka-classic na pwede mong gawin is that you just get MPL bans just for you to have advantage against the other team kasi you don't really have big information on what they really like to pick. Kaya lagi mababa niya yung Faramis pati yung Valentina unless we head into the bigger stages of our games. Kaya yun yung hinihintay natin dito. If ever umabot na tayo dun, that's the time in where people are gonna be more confident about who they pick.
Exactly. I wonder though if we're gonna be seeing anything out of the blue, out of the ordinary in our current matchup. Alam mo, Dash, alam mo naman kung sino yung favorite hero ko dito sa MLBB. Gusto ko lang talaga makakita ng Zylo. Yun lang naman yung wish ko for today's video. Pero ikaw, Dash, ano ba yung favorite mong hero na hindi napipick necessarily madalas in the current state of the meta that you absolutely want to see in these competitive games?
Yeah, most of the time kasi pag sa competitive games, ang gusto ko talaga napipick yun, yung Masha na ban yung Masha. So, I really like seeing Ling on games. Kasi whenever there's a Ling, there's a lot of rotations around the map. And that's what I like about it. But right now in the meta, it really doesn't fit unless meron talagang Ling or Lancelot one trick sa team nyo. Pero ito, having the Atlas as a first pick, this is a very ranked solo queue pick, no?
Yep. Yeah. Yung mga playmaker talaga, no? That's what you want to witness. Speaking of playmakers, we have an Atlas on the board. Very similar to the last game where we did have an Atlas as well. And on the Ling note that you mentioned, it makes me think, what kind of heroes do I want to see that is sort of like that, very, very niche in the current state of the meta? And one particular hero comes to mind, yung Fanny. It's not been relevant for quite some time now, and it's very, very interesting to see kasi parang all or nothing type of a hero siya, no? Pero for the most part, feeling ko hindi naman tayo makakita ng ganun ngayon unless we get blessed. But instead, it's the Leomord getting picked up by Juvan dito. And this is one thing that I find a little bit surprising, Dash.
What is this? I'm really surprised about this. Honestly, this Leomord is just like
throwing
out
you
of the
off.
blue. This is
Yeah.
this is what we're saying a while ago. There might be a lot of specialties on their teams, and
Mm-hmm.
even the Natalia has been picked, which usually you don't usually see this on this level of play, which is why right now these teams know what they're doing. They know
Exactly.
what their comfort is, and the Xborg too. Man, when did you see an Xborg since years ago? Or like months ago, sorry, months ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
they went in for it.
It's been so long since we've seen an X-Bar. Pero speaking of familiar faces, we are seeing a Kagura always been a playmaker. Speaking of niche picks and superstar players, pagka may magaling mag-Kagura, yun yung pinakatakot ako sa solo queue. Yun yung mga ayaw ko makita. Pag nag-insta-lock first pick ng Kagura yung katapat, wala,
True.
FF na lang. FF
Uh,
na lang tayo. Pero one of the
it's a
things that I
Kagura
like
one trick.
yeah, exactly. One of the things that I like to point out though, Dash, is for our KHM Knights side, Leslie being brought out here, fresh from the buff stage. Yung
Yes.
one for those of you who don't know, Leslie got a recent buff wherein yung mga critical envy strike niya is now dealing through damage. That means na against tanks, Leslie is especially powerful now kahit hindi siya mag-build ng Malefic Roar kasi through damage na. And that's just gonna provide a lot of damage here for the side of KHM. And I really like their composition here, Dash. They have a lot of CC, a lot of team fighting prowess, and a lot of late game potential.
Honestly, you can just build 5 Blade of Despairs on
Mm-hmm.
Leslie right now. You can still deal tons of damage just because of that true damage buff that she has. So this is just crazy. I think that that's gonna get nerfed somehow soon. But now we've seen a while ago that the Leslie, or rather the double marksman composition has worked in favor of ERH. But will it work on the hands of KHM? Because on the other side, we do have a Kagura and a Natalia too. So that is what I'm really, really looking forward to. How this very flashy heroes are gonna make it through this team for the other side.
Yeah, really excited to see how that is just going to commence as we head towards the land of dawn, folks. Remember, this is KHM Knights versus Savoy Hotel Manila. It is a best of one to determine who is going to advance into the upper echelons of our tournament brackets. For those of you who weren't here at the start of the day, the first matchup between RHO Richmonde Hotel and Eastwood Richmonde Hotel is ERH, the guys from Eastwood were the ones to take the cake. And ngayon, it's gonna be, well, another elimination matchup between these two teams. Can't wait to get into the match, so let's get right into it, Dash. And another peculiar pick dito na gusto kong pagtuunan ng attention is the Bruno. Like, when was the last time we saw a Bruno as well? I'm not even sure.
I like the Bruno pick, honestly, whenever it's against a lot of late game late game heroes, for
Yes.
example, like the Leslie. So that is when the Bruno shines the most because Bruno has a lot of damage early on, and that's why right now that is what they're using in their favor. If ever they get a snowball onto the bot lane, the Leslie would just be out of the game basically. But now the Natalia is here, tries to go for a steal but wasn't able to, and now is running away with nothing on her. They have the slow, they have the stun, and that's gonna be the first blood. Very aggressive play from KHM.
I mean, that's one of the downsides of having a Natalia on the jungle, right? I mean, hindi ka naman kasi as tanky and as damage outputty as other roamers in the map, such as an Atlas in this case. That's why isang pagkakamali lang, isang slip up lang, and you're gonna be punished big time for it. It's exactly what happened in this case, and that's why it doesn't really work in a lot of times against these standard comps where you have a tank that is always roaming with that jungler. That is one of the most effective ways to keep your jungler safe, and it really is very hard for Natalia to find relevance at these early stages going up against that. So no, what I like to see from Ian is put more of that priority towards maybe wag lang niya papasukin no yung duo na yon towards his own jungle, or maybe put more of that presence towards the side lane, particularly the Bruno, which needs that early game strength.
Yeah, especially that Leslie doesn't really have a lot of ways to get out of fights.
Mhm.
That would be an easier target for this team. Because if ever they want to go for, especially with the Natalia, what I like about the Natalia is just making the core have a hard time to get to level 4, get to level 3. And that's mostly the power of the Natalia. But if you weren't able to do that, you're basically just like a minion at that point.
Yeah, and remember, guys, this is very similar to the last game where one composition is I guess you can call it hyper scaling in the sense that you've got two scaling heroes, and on the other hand, you've got an earlier oriented comp wherein if they don't get the early game advantage, it's just gonna fall apart for themselves. And like how the first game started, we're seeing the same pattern kung saan kung sino yung scaling yung comp, sila yung nakakuha ng first blood, and that isn't necessarily the end of the world dito para sa SHM. It's not the best of starts, especially when you have a Natalia on your roaming side. And really, it's sort of like a wake up call now. Remember, this is the best of one. Remember, this is a tournament life is on the line dito. So is that really a risk that SHM wants to take? We'll find out. Let's just have a break before we continue on. Again, your casters for today, Datum and Dash. We'll be right back after the short break.
And welcome back, folks. We're now back into the game. KHM versus SHM. That's a tongue twister right there. But still, again, these teams have been starting the game pretty slowly, but we have
Yep.
seen one kill already. If ever kakadating nyo lang, meron ng one kill onto the side of KHM, giving them ample advantage just for Riot to have more of a gold lead against SHM.
Yeah, top side though, medyo merong bakbakan na nangyayari, and this is
Oh.
kind of like what we expect between these XP laners, but okay, wala pa silang ulti pareho, so Juvan gonna be backing off for now unless he calls upon the horse, but not really biting any more that he can chew. I like that call kasi pa-spawn na dito yung turtle towards the top side, and if any of them fall, that is gonna be a huge advantage for their team.
The cavalry's here, and yun na nga, KHM is just losing a bit of a big ultimate that they needed para mag-start dito ng turtle, and that's big. Kasi SHM with Draig, meron na siya agad Firaga armor, so right now, they can start the turtle without any problems, and this is what we expect. Ito yung na-expect natin dun sa game natin a while ago, na SHM with the team composition that has no, or at least one marksman lang, is gaining the advantage at the early stages of the game, and that's exactly what's happening. They use the ultimate, the last insanity onto the top side, don't have any HP, one more HP on taking, and that's gonna be the flicker. Won't be able to hit, never mind. He was able to get the kill in the end, and they're still moving forward to go for kills. They got it in the end. The execution is there. Look at the backside. Ian is just making a menace out of everyone. That's a lot of chaos. He's running away, and this is just Isol just dealing tons of damage, spinning around. No respect from KHM because you're just recalling in front of him.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, and this time it is the red side that is SHM that picks up the turtle, and I think that's one of the more underrated things about having Embalmment in that core role is that you can layer your ulti with that attribution. No, ang hirap mag-contest ng objectives against that Balmond, especially in these early stages. Again, if you are a Roger, right? Other than the fact that dalawa yung retribution ng kalaban mo, ang hirap makalapit sa isang Balmond, isang last niyan early game, especially with the jungling items. It's going to be so easy to ramp up those jungling emblem rather. You can so easily ramp up those items. Beautiful counter there from Alcomira to escape the fatal links. Make sure that this Bruno stays alive for now.
Yeah, get Purify, just for them to live for another day. Still haven't inspired onto Zilla Spirit. I think Zilla Spirit is gonna fall down here. Looking at the setup that they do have, he used the ultimate, so that just saved him like a hanging duck right there. Easy kill, fried chicken for SHM.
Yeah, and sets them up perfectly for the turtle about to spawn up in 20 seconds as well. Last Insanity, available naman dito kay Drake, pero mukhang gusto pumalag dito ni Isol knowing na walang ulti as of now si Defender. Walang fatal legs, they can't turn around, and here comes the damage. Here comes Ian, and here comes the slay. Ryan, or rather Riot goes down, and that's gonna be a perfect setup dito, lalo na dahil walang gold laner for the side of KHM, and turtle spotting up in just 2 seconds.
This is what we said a while ago. The power of Archimera onto the bot lane. Just give him one type to get a kill, or at least take down Zilla Spirit and let the level gap just talk for itself. And that's why Archimera right now has a bigger advantage compared to KHM, which is why this is now Ian's time to shine. And this is the time in where the Goldeners are going to have a hard time at top side. We do have the Steed. The Cavalry is here to fight, but the Viraga armor is just stronger. The last Insanity's there. He was forced to flicker away. Won't be able to hit. I think that's not the right timing, but the Isol is here. The execution is going to be there, and that's going to be a killing spree for this core.
Uh-oh, Ian in a bit of trouble. Goes invisible, and just like that,
Oh, what? No!
the predict from Radical Sign! Ian goes down. What a beautiful OT right there into the stun. And well, at least they were able to pick up that kill, but at least now, Dash, we're actually seeing what was supposed to happen in this type of composition, right? It's the double marksman comp that is certainly going to struggle in this early game, pero the good thing is at least they are minimizing their losses. At least 3,000 lang in gold lead.
Yeah, 3K gold lead, third surge down. SHM are just having more pressure around the map. It's just great fatal links onto the backside, gets 2, and now with that they have the wombo combo, gets 2 again, and they got the kill. This is the last Insanity, just gonna be the last call, the last roar. If they are gonna be able to take a kill, they get one. Isel just on to 3 members, he's being chased down by them, and that's gonna be the shutdown to the Leslie. Now back into the game, Rai is just gonna be chasing down the Viraga Arbor unless a member. X-Borg is gonna fall, no more Mega Man shooting for you, and that's a 2 for 2. SHM getting the disadvantage, but Tower in the bot lane falls down.
I was about to point that out, Dash. Exactly while that was happening, Archimera the whole time, hindi man lang siya lumapit sa team fight. Sabi niya, okay, just go for a 2v4. I don't mind. I'm just gonna push, gonna get these items, and look at the itemization from Archimera. That's one of the quality of life things for Bruno. Dahil meron na siyang enough damage with the abilities that he has. Naturally, kailangan niya lang ng first item na attack speed, and it's gonna be enough to push, to fight. That's one of the things that really makes Bruno so hard to counter. But here we go, last Insanity into the mid side. Radical Sign, 1 HP, and instantly going down. Wala ng CC for the side dito, pero look at the like and pounds. Rise still wants more retribution for the double kill. But it just triggers the immortality for Drake, who buys it just in the nick of time. Walang last Insanity for now, but the flicker in stun. Archimera goes down. Juban with a perfect execution.
Okay, 3-4-1. Still want to go for a kill. Zero Spirit does have the last Insanity. Viraga Armor has been taken down. Wasn't able to hit the execution, but still not going to be able to get the kill. Javan is backing away. Not enough damage yet for SHM to be able to get the kill onto this Leomord. But again, that's a 2 for 3. Good kill for KHM. They have the fatal links onto this man. There's a lot of stuns coming in. I think Isel just walked into the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, gusto talaga nilang shutdown doon si Isel. Now they know that he has been such a big headache in asserting map control here. So taking him down, for one, is going to give them good bounty, and for another, is going to secure them off this mid aggression. Look at this. Defender going back in. Wala siyang fatal links, pero wala siyang pa-case. Still going in. Defender, though, 1 HP left. And Archimera, enough damage in the tank for that kill. 1 HP left on Tony. Tony gonna survive for now, and that's going to be an easy 2 for Nada in favor of SHM for now.
2 for 1, Ian. Getting sniped out of his range, and that's gonna be the kill. A great kill from Aurora. But still, Archimera wants some revenge, wants some kills for himself, throws the balls around. That's a 3 for 1.
Yeah, it's at this point, Dash, na medyo equal yung power levels ng both sides natin, no? And tama lang, kasi it's the mid-game. Nagkakaroon na ng items both of our squads, but this is where it gets scary for SHM. Bill links onto 2, and here comes Rai for the backup. The damage is here. The cavalry is here, but it won't matter. Azel with the Cone of Death easily secures the double.
2 for 0, and now with this, they have the Lord ticking on to 15 seconds. Enough time for them to finish it before the members spawn onto the side of KHM, but they still want to go for a kill. Ian is still not going for any breaks. He's jugging around the map and still looking for all the fights that he can go for. Lord is spawning.
Lord is spawning. Immediately getting started off quite curiously for Isel dito. It's a little bit of a risky call kasi yung HP ni Archimera medyo mababa. Mababa din yung HP ni Ian, so hindi makakapag-create ng masyadong maraming space dito. But at this point, it doesn't really matter because they take the Lord so quickly and they're looking for the frags. Radical Sign, 1 HP, last Insanity, but the killing spree is done for Isel. They don't even need the ult to secure that kill.
Look at how they start this fight. SHM They're just try to dash in, try to go damage. If ever they can get the kill, go for the execute onto the Balmond. And KHM is just being forced to be reactive on what SHM is doing every time, and that's not how you want to play these fights. Every time they try to go for Fatal Links, they need to be sure that they can go for wins. If Radical Sign is not there, I think the Fatal Links would lose much of their value, but now Drag is now being targeted by the members right here. They don't have the Fatal Links. They have the last Insanity. He's going to back away. Those don't have any flickers. He's just going to fall down, but still, they have some damage going in, moving forward. They have the DPS onto the team, so they can go for the kill. Isol's just chasing them down still. 1 for 2. SHM is on a disadvantage, but they still are going to be able to take a third on top side.
Drake played that beautifully. You stalled just enough for the Faraga Hour to come up and then use the last Insanity to deal down the damage. But here comes another fight. Stun comes in, and there goes the dive. Beautiful stuff from Tony Chopper as he chops away at defender.
Making a 2 for 2. Great timing. And also another turret is going to fall down into the cells. Look at Isol. He's just tanking all this damage. They want freezing the members. They have the siege. The cavalry is here, and they are going to be shutting them down. They want to go for the kill, and they're going to be chasing down to Kagura, but still not enough. Not enough chasing power. I think this is not the right decision, though, Javon. I think Javon is going to fall down just because of that over-aggression.
Yeah. Shutdown golds, though, coming in for the side of the blue side, that is KHM here right now. That's a really good thing for them, pero they might have bitten off a little bit more than they can do. The last Insanity is available for Drake, and is that gonna be a kill? Not yet. Not enough damage. Ian, double Fatal Links, and that instantly turns the fight around. Ian in a bit of trouble. Flicker forced away, and hindi sila nalaglag doon. Great stuff here from Drake and Ian.
Flicker and dash for both of them. And SHM lives for another day. I think the only reason why KHM is still living through these games is because SHM is just giving some kills that are supposed to not be given. Especially on the times that they don't have any objectives. That is the reason why KHM is still chasing down. There's still a lot of map pressure for SHM. But KHM, on a 1k gold lead lang, that's a really, really low gold gap, even though that they have 4 towers down. Still have the Fatal Links onto this man, so they're going to be chasing down onto one. Was able to run away. Good kill onto the back line. Leslie was able to go for more. They have the last Insanity in front of them, but this is not the target though. KHM moving forward onto the spot. Ian doesn't have enough damage. Rai is going to back away. No execution onto their side, but they're still chasing onto the back line. They got this on a 2 for 2. That's exactly what they want.
It's at the point, Dash, na nawawala na ng damage dito si Ian, but the same is not true for Archimera. He's still relevant. He's still doing so much damage, but Defender dodges that combo in just a hair. Pero tinamaan pa rin siya ng auto-attack ni Archimera. You can't dodge that. Neither can you, Zealous Spirit, and that's 2 for nothing as, again, they start the lore here. SHM very, very early go.
Look at Archimera. Archimera has a lot of damage now, and that's what's scary about this. Brutal has a lot of items. And item check, we do have 3 items already onto this man's, or at least 2 items, or rather 3 items already onto this man's, but wow, Ian again getting shut down, but just 1 combo from Radical Sign. Still to go. Cavalry's here. Archimera gonna be the target. He's gonna be executed by the mans, and Isol is just gonna be running away. No damage for this one, so that's gonna be a double kill.
It's at this point, Dash, na hindi na dapat nakakalaban dito yung SHM. It's already at the point where KHM are the ones that are slowly taking over. It's all the point where the damage is slowly shifting towards their side. But because SHM denies to go down, they are so relentless that they are still going back in every single time na nafu-force yung KHM na ma-extend yung game, na makipaglaban sa kanila in these awkward situations that SHM are hanging on to this game. But if KHM, if only makahanap sila ng start of the fight, makahanap lang ng isang magandang ult dito si Defender, wala na, it's light out for SHM, so that's making it a little bit risky for them. But look at that, 1 HP left on Archimera. It's at the point where Radical Sign is a threat to be dealt with.
Yeah, now, wow, Ian. Even though we said a while ago that he's not going to be a threat, but at least against Radical Sign, he's going to be a big threat. And also, maybe against Zealous Spirit then, if ever they try to go and go for the kill onto the backline dun, pwede rin nila gawin. But again, want to start the fight here. Defender gonna run away, but not gonna be doing anything more.
Yeah, SHM, by brute force, they're taking this game. They're taking over the map. But remember, at this point, it's very, very risky for them to keep on taking these fights, because each and every time, the longer the game goes, here comes the play I've been talking about. Flicker into the last or rather into the
Oh,
Fatal
they
Links,
don't
but
have
look at the
damage.
response. Archimera has just too much damage. The backline is not as secure as they hope it would be, but Ian's doesn't find the kill. Double kill for Archimera. Full HP. Two members going down on SHM sides, but they're still looking for more. Archimera on the triple as he goes frozen, but he's already on the Maniac. Looking for the Savage as Radical Side is the last one standing. Ixel looking
No
for the
ults.
push, but it is at this point, the threat is real and alive. Each and every turret going down. Frozen comes in, but Archimera unrelenting. SHM looking to close in on the base of KSHM.
Oh, want to get a kill. Last Insanity. They have some time. Defender does have the Fatal Links if ever they want to go for a wombo combo, at least to save their lives. Archimera is ending the game.
Wow.
And this is going to be it. They're really going for the recalls. And SHM is just winning that fight again. So again, red side wins, Tatum.
Yeah, SHM, the execution was just there. I mean, it was a bit of a fumbly start, no, Dash. Medyo rocky yung simula. Tanda natin, the first blood didn't really go their way, but they instantly bounced back, taking the turtle. And from there on out, they did not let that control slip out of their hands, especially because of that control from the Bruno on the gold lane. But
Nice, G.
that was actually pretty well executed there for for SHM, kasi look at Archimera. Never once was Archimera out of position. You have to give credit where credit is due, and Archimera was just on point towards that entire game. Hindi siya, maybe there were a couple of times where there was some positions where na challenge siya and nahuli siya, but when it mattered, she showed up.
Yeah. What's great about Archimera especially is that yung bot lane, they were able to make sure that Archimera is just gonna be snowballing on the game. Kasi what I'm afraid of during the first part is that Leslie, yung buff nga na sinabi mo when it comes to the Leslie, is that she has 3 damage. But we didn't see that in action during the whole game. Just because Archimera was able to shut down the bot lane, was able to take down 2 turrets, kaya Zilla Spirit wasn't able to get any farms for himself.
Yeah, the thing was they didn't necessarily have to funnel a lot of those resources to shut down the enemy Leslie. That's why
Exactly,
pwedeng
yeah.
mag-roam in other parts of the map yung ibang members nila, because well, the Bruno was single-handedly enough to shut down the Leslie, and that's one of the things that really makes this team a terror to behold. SHM, a team that I'm really excited to look forward to in the future, and one of the teams that can be up and running for the playoffs. Who knows? But
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see next time, because that is it for our matches of the day, folks. Thanks again for joining us. Again, a quick recap of what happened today. It was RHO from Richmonde Hotel in Ortigas went up against Eastwood, Richmonde Hotel as well. It's Eastwood that took the cake. And for the second game, we had Kingsford Hotel going up against Savoy Hotel, with Savoy taking the cake. So those are the two teams who will be advancing. Unfortunately for RHO and KHM Knights, this is the end of the line for them. Unfortunately, this is where their journey ends. And for EHR and ERH and SHM, both teams that are I am very much looking forward to seeing again in the future.
Yeah, and I hope that we see them again, especially for the other teams, that they can join the next tournament if ever we have some, though. But again, thank you very much, everyone, for watching the stream. And this has been Dash and Datum D&D casting for your games for today. We're going to be seeing you next week for more games here in MHR Legends.